Hello. Hello. Hi and welcome. We're really here. Wait, hold on. Real quick, hold on. Okay. Oh my god, wow, what a shit start. I just went ahead and made some extra soundproofing measures so that this could end up sounding the best it absolutely could. Because I think this time around, it deserves it. Because we're really at the end. I honestly think that we are. We're getting into the trial. I'm moving stuff around. We're getting into the trial. And we're really close to the end. Oh shoot, I unmuted. I still haven't figured out why I unmuted, or was muted that one time. I don't think I hit my hotkeys. I think maybe I just singularly tapped one thing on my laptop and then it just did it. It just did it. I don't know. Whatever. We'll figure it out. I don't want that to keep happening, obviously. I'll just keep an eye out. Okay, I'm already off to a messy start, so hopefully we can just kick it off and it'll be really nice and, not at all shitty. I'm really hoping. Wait. Okay. I can't tell if I'm stalling because I want things to be perfect or if I'm stalling because I don't want this to end. I'm getting sentimental. I really am. But I'll save all that. I'll keep all that for until the actual end. Okay. Let's do it. Yes. Yes. We're in it. We're in it now. Oh, that's true. Okay. Ooh. The defense calls. This is where we left off. We are indicting our real murderer. Who killed Goodman? The time's finally come to bring about the real murderer. It's motherfucking Damon Gant. How convenient that he was the first one on the list. Damon Gant. The defense calls Damon Gant to the stand. Damon Gant? What does he have to do with anything? A lot. As the defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it. As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse. He would also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Oh, that's right. Apparently no one trusts Edgeworth at the moment. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor? Say yes. True. Say yes. All right. Yes. Bailiff, please escort Mr. Gant to the stand. Oh, shit. We have to hold our ground with this one. Witness, please state your name and occupation. What is this, some kind of practical joke? I was just on my way to lunch. Oh, sorry to interrupt. Your name and occupation, sir. Worthy. Are you sure you want to do this? Fuck yes. Stop. Your name and occupation. Don't give me that. So, you want to play hardball, eh? Please, Mr. Gant. Fine. My name is Damon Gant. I'm the acting chief of police, in case you've forgotten. Now then, Chief Gant, the court the court requests to hear your testimony. Oh, righto. What's with the grim face? First, let's clear up this SL9 incident. I love how no one is listening to Gant at this point. We just want this shit done and over with. All of his little theatrics can just go right out the window. Oh, you mean that time when Lana's sister murdered that prosecutor? Harsh. Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already. No. There are still some things unaccounted for. Oh, like what? Like the role you played in all of this. Son, either you're very brave or very foolish. I'm both. You are aware, of course, that a police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Hope you don't mean that literally. Sure. Take my testimony, for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to. That's a right that everyone has, right? No, is that Fifth Amendment something you can refuse to testify, like about your own crap, whatever. What? Is that true? I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify. Of course, such an action carries with it certain risks. Don't worry. I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you. Okay. Very well, the witness may now begin his testimony. Okay, SL9 incident. What are you gonna give us? As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage didn't help either. I forgot all about that. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently, she had already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. Why forgery in quotes like that? Was that when Dark was arrested? Him? He was lying on the floor, unconscious. Oh, don't show this again. Okay. Could speed it up a little bit if you're gonna show it again, but alright. When Emma sent Neil flying, it seems Dark bumped his head. Sounds a bit too convenient to me. I see. Everything seems pretty clear-cut. If the police chief has the right to refuse to testify, then I'd better hit him hard and fast. Okay, what can I press? What can I press? And hopefully this isn't a situation where I get penalized for pressing. We slipped up. No, found Lana there. She had already arranged the crime scene, pressing that. Interested to know what that meant. How can you know that? Because of the victim's body. It had already been moved. So that means you found the body near Lana's desk. That's right. I think you said earlier it was my suit of armor that really stabbed the prosecutor. Yes. Anyway, okay. Pressing that. So you're saying that the forgery had already taken place by the time you arrived at your office? That's exactly what I'm saying. I can understand how Lana must have felt, but moving a body and hiding evidence are inexcusable no matter what the circumstances. Is that how it really went down? Staring at the witness won't do you any good, Mr. Wright. Oh, If you're going to stare at anything, you'd better be oh, fuck. You'd be oh, God. Look at the court record. You'd be better off staring at the court record. Worthy. Always the smooth talker. But which piece of evidence ties Gant to the forgery? The stuff that he hid? Lana did admit to forging evidence. But that can't be the whole truth. Somehow I've got to link Gant to the incident. We slipped up. I don't really think that's too important. I'm yawning. Okay. I had nothing to do with the forgery. Really? Ooh, the evidence list? The other half that he had? I don't know if this is gonna work, but it's worth a try. Ooh, okay. It has nothing to do with the crime scene, but alright. You claim you had nothing to do with the forgery. But I'm afraid that is a claim you cannot back up. Explain yourself. Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this list, for example. That's the list Emma Skye drew her picture on. This was discovered in your desk. Not only that, but a piece of this jar that was sitting in your office was found inside your safe. It was found where? You see, Chief Gant, these articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that you also played a part in the illegal investigation. Yes, okay, that worked. Chief Gant, what is the meaning of this? Oh, here's a defense attorney who may even rival Worthy. So you admit to it then? That you were involved in the forgery? Who, me? Or do you mean you? Shut the fuck up. Me? Why would I have anything to do with that? Well, you were the one who snuck into my office when you found this evidence. Oh, what? Oh, shut up. You make it seem like I'm making this up? Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know. Defense attorneys can do so too. Isn't that right, Righto? No. However, Detective Gumshoe was present during the investigation. Worthy, my boy. Not even detectives are exempt from the law. If you'd rest assured, Dick will receive his due punishment. Dude, I don't like this guy at all. What? If Detective Gumshoe's salary drops any further, he'll end up paying to work. He might as well just quit and join a different fucking, what is it called? Criminal Affairs Department. Yes, well, in light of the detective's presence, please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence found in your office and their relation to the forgery that took place at the crime scene. My. Kids these days no longer know how to put two and two together. Okay. This guy's really good at not taking the blame. Let's see, what was it now? A jar fragment and a list? For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. Oh, let me think about that. If they were found after Dark was convicted, then they're useless. Really. There's no reason I'd participate in a forgery. Oh, bull fucking shit. You wanted to get promoted. Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. No. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? When investigating the crime scene, you should have been more careful to observe protocol. Okay, well, everyone else was being really difficult about it. You do understand that I am the chief of police, right? There will be consequences. Ugh. Indeed, I believe I will press charges. So you won't make the same mistake again. My apologies, Chief. Would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that? I think we still would need him for this case. Today is... well, you know... Alright, Udgy. In return, though... I know. That place, right? Huh? What are these guys? Telepathic? It hurts that they're actually, like, friends. Okay. You can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. I think I can. Actually, I think I can. This? Shoot. No! Your Honor, that evidence. No, it doesn't. It's gonna be like, well, pieces of, what is it? Bits of blood from the jar fragment were wiped off and stayed on others. I can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. Is that true? No. Ugh. Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. I'm gonna press that first. Be like, yeah, you had a motive. Really, Chief Gant? At the very least, there is one very large benefit you've reaped from all this. Oh? I wasn't aware. What is this benefit? That would, of course, be the position you have. Chief of Police. Oh. Yeah. The resolution of the SL9 incident secured your promotion to Chief. That in itself is sufficient motive. Oh, he knows! Oh, that's a good one. You know I know. Huh? Do you really think I'm that incompetent? What do you mean? Even without that case, I was already in line to become the next chief. The resolution of SL9 merely sped up the inevitable a little. Is that true, Edgeworth? Yes. He was going to be made chief anyway. What about Lana? Ah, be careful when pointing that finger, or you might wind up being the one pointed at. So that means there's only one possible motivation for you to commit forgery. If you didn't do it for yourself, then you did it for someone else, i.e. Lana. Don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. There are only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I. Shut up. There. It's out in the open now. Udgy, would you mind if I changed my testimony a little? Oh, okay. By all means, please do. What is your addition? I swear to God, if I'm gonna be yawning this whole time, I'm gonna cry. I wouldn't be anyone's accomplice if there was nothing in it for me. What do I have? What do I have to prove that would be beneficial to Lana? No. No, I know, it's fine. It's fine, chill out. We're just gonna go back in time a little bit and you won't even have to worry about it, Judge. I'll just press it. Nothing in it for you? Sorry, but the only person I care about is yours, truly. That girl? Lana's little sister, was it? If you think I felt sorry for her, you'd better think again. You're right. You don't feel sorry for anyone. Be tough on crime and tough on people. That's how I was raised. You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though. Oh, that's a good one, Worthy. I wish I could fake laugh. I'm so sorry. Could there have been something in it for him? Given his selfishness, would he have helped someone out? Yes. Yes, he would have. He would have made it seem like he was helping someone out. True, you might not help out anyone for their sake. But if it would benefit you, you might decide to assist someone. Oh, you know I know! Mr. Wright, it appears you are positively determined to portray the chief as a nice man who likes to lend people a hand. This is a blatant misinterpretation. That's not what I mean. Very well then, who is this person you believe Chief Gant may have helped forge evidence? It's gotta be Lana. Sorry, putting her under the bus for a little bit, but it'll help in the long run. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye? The defendant? I believe it's quite obvious in the light of circumstances. Emma Skye fell victim to an unfortunate series of events. Who would want to help her more than her own sister, Lana? And as for Chief Gant, he would also have a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. That reason, of course, is self-profit. Self-profit? What do you mean? After the SL9 incident was resolved, Lana Skye was appointed chief prosecutor at the prosecutor's office. The person who arranged this job change was you, Chief Gant. Don't act naive. But how would he profit from all this? He would be able to use the chief prosecutor as his puppet. Essentially, he would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations. Yes, exactly. And the whole, like, I helped you get your sister declared innocent would, like, loom over Lana's head. She would just do anything he said. Do you mean to tell me that despite the chief's formidable appearance, he plays with puppets? Judge. Oh my god. Oh, wow. Not even a ... Oh, wait. You must mean puppet as in someone forced to do his bidding. Never mind. Admit it, Chief. You assisted Lana Skye in forging evidence. Your motive? To appoint her as chief prosecutor so you could control her. Righto, my boy. You have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something. What? Do you have any proof of this? That I controlled Lana? For example, is Lana testifying that I've done such a thing? Lana. She's keeping quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she'd testify against Gant. I'm afraid without any proof, this all amounts to nothing more than mere conjecture. Shit. Unless... that is also what happened in this incident. This incident? Which one would that be? Of course I'm talking about the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. The chief prosecutor has been acting strange throughout this entire trial. Almost as if someone has been controlling her. Yeah, she let herself get caught. Worthy. You'd better watch your tongue. I wouldn't want you to get hurt. That's a blatant threat. Just what do you mean? What he means, Your Honor, is that Chief Gant is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. That's a bold claim. Not only that, but the Chief is now making Lana take the rap to cover up his involvement. What? Yeah. It's pretty fucking crazy, right? Oh god, he's yelling. Mr. Wright, you can't be serious. Huh? Look, I know you're, like, emotionally involved in this because he's your, like, buddy or whatever, but this is an affront to the highest ranking officer in our law enforcement agency. To accuse the chief of police of blackmail and murder? That's impossible. It's pretty fucking possible. I've been known to make some wild claims in my day. Your Honor, I was merely reiterating what Mr. Edwards said in easier to understand language. What? What? What do you have a problem with? It's too late, Mr. Wright. There's no turning back for us now. It looks like he's the one who's decided to go through with this. Alright, hand in hand, we walk in. We're doing it. Can you prove this, Mr. Wright? That the chief, a high-ranking officer of the law, is involved in this murder? Good question. I don't know. Regardless of his rank or title, Chief Gant is just a man. The question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence will tell. I see. I also will save. I think it's the card thing. The one with 7 sevens. I think that's what we should do. Alright then. Let's see what Mr. Wright's got. And it had better be good. Show us this evidence that ties Chief Gant to the murder of Detective Goodman. I don't want to keep yawning like this. Okay. I'm not usually this tired. Okay, I think I know what it is. Where is it? 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 No, not that. The ID card record. This right here. At 4:20 p.m. Really? Disrespecting such a sacred time. It's gotta be, because the safe was also the same number. Here you have it. Good sir. This is the ID card list. Yes. The one that shows who entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. There was one ID on the list we couldn't determine the owner of yesterday. 7 sevens. Sorry, but there's no way you can prove that's my card number. It's your number. Fuck you. Checkmate. What? How do you know that? The safe in Chief Gant's office requires a code to open. A 7-digit code. And this man is not at all creative. 7 digits? You don't mean. I'm afraid so, Your Honor. The code was 7 sevens. The same as the remaining ID card number on that list. Chief Gant, you entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. Oh shit! Yeah? Chief Gant, what do you have to say? Nothing. I was gonna say nothing, apparently. The defense's search of my office was in violation of regulations. And I will demand Mr. Wright be punished to the maximum extent of the law. But right now, this court demands an explanation from you about the use of this ID card. What? Were you involved in evidence transferal? Chief Gant! So you admit it? You entered the evidence room on the day of the crime? Dude! I love how angry he is right now. What about it? I'm chief of police. Whether it's the evidence room or the bathroom, what's the difference? I can go anywhere I want. Tell me, when you entered the room, were you alone? I always go to the bathroom alone, as I do with the evidence room. Okay, Detective Goodman wouldn't have happened to be with you that day, would he? Of course not. Why would he be? Okay, not suspicious at all. I hadn't seen him in days. You hadn't seen him in days? Chief Gant. That's a weak-ass lie. I'm afraid you've just undone yourself. On that day, you had to have met with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? This trial's purpose is to determine Lana Sky's guilt. No, it isn't, Your Honor. Shut the fuck up. This trial's purpose is to determine the truth. If Chief Gant met the victim on the day of the crime, then we need to determine one thing. What transpired during that meeting? In that case, Mr. Wright, I'm going to have to ask you for evidence. Show us proof that the victim went to meet Chief Gant on the day of the crime. I think I will. 221? Yes? Right fucking there. Detective... I'm dying. Actually, let me take a small sip of water first. Okay. I want this to keep going smoothly. Detective Goodman lost his ID card on the day of the crime. Or, to be more accurate, Jake Marshall stole it. So Detective Goodman filled out a lost item report. He would have had to give that report to the Chief of Police. Yet you are in possession of this report, which means you can't be sure if he filed it. Fuck you. He filed it. How do I know, you ask? Because he needed to enter the evidence room that day. He needed to? Yes. To transfer the evidence out. Oh. Detective Goodman took the form to you, Chief Gant. Then, you accompanied the detective to the evidence room. I accompanied him? Yeah. There's no other way the murderer and Detective Goodman could have entered the room. Hold on. Let me guess what you're going to say next. I, the Chief of Police, murdered poor Goodman. Yeah. Exactly. But wait. The Chief didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room. You could have just lent him his ID card. Yes. Now that you mention it, I believe I might have done something of the sort. Oh, Edgeworth, thank you. Sorry, but that's not possible. According to the record, your card was only used once. Yet you showed us your ID card earlier. If you had really lent it to Detective Goodman, it would have been found on his body. No! Yes. Get fucked. Eat shit. Chief Gant, you didn't. The murder was most likely a spur-of-the-moment crime, for no one in their right mind would choose the police department as a place to commit murder. After the murder, you contacted Lana at the prosecutor's office. Why? To dispose of I fucking hate that word. To dispose of Goodman's body, of course. You're forgetting, Mr. Wright, that the victim's body was discovered in the prosecutor's office parking lot. How did he manage to move it there? I was at the police department the entire day, you know. And everyone's aware that Lana stayed at the prosecutor's office after the ceremony. Everyone except me, it seems. Still, you're the chief of police. You have an entire police force at your disposal. Oh, so you think I just ordered an officer to do it? Hey, you, take this here dead body over to the prosecutor's office. I don't think so. Chief Gant, you left all the evidence we need to prove how you moved the body to the prosecutor's office. And all this time, I thought it was just a useless clue taking up space. How could the chief have moved the body? Mr. Wright, show us this evidence. To move the victim's body, Chief Gant used this. Wow, sneaky, sneaky. It's it, though. This is how we moved Detective Goodman's body. I'm never saying that word again. This is how he moved Goodman's body. What's that? A screwdriver? But what does that have to do with this case? Mr. Edgeworth? Think back to the day of the crime. This might traumatize you a little bit, but, you know, just work through it. What is this screwdriver doing here? It's here because... Yeah. I was asked to go by Chief Gant, no less. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. Yeah, in any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. He used you... After the ceremony ended that day, I didn't plan to return to the prosecutor's office. But you did. Because Chief Gant asked you to. You mean The body was found in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. This is... Ugh. I think it's obvious what happened. The body was moved by that car. Sorry, Edgy. Detective Goodman's body was carried in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car? Yes. Unless, of course, you have another explanation, Chief? Why else would you have asked Mr. Edgeworth to transport evidence from a closed case? There's only one plausible explanation. To transport the body to your accomplice, Miss Lana Skye. What is going on here? Is there no room for rebuttal to the defense's outrageous accusations? Think back to the photograph Miss Starr took at the prosecutor's office. This was not a photo of the body being stuffed in the trunk to be taken away. It was exactly the opposite. It is a photo of the body being taken from the trunk. Chief Gant, please say something. I believe your time's up. Huh? My time's up? Sorry, Rido, but I'm having lunch with the District Attorney General after this. We have to get going if we're to make it in time for the early bird special. No, but the cross-examination isn't finished yet. Remember what I told you earlier? A police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Are you really gonna bail out? That just makes you look even more suspicious. Like the right to refuse to testify. I'm invoking that right now. What? This is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered. So you're going to just run away after all this? Run away? Don't make me laugh, Worthy. I stabbed old Goodman. That's what you're saying, right? But if you had any conclusive evidence, you would have presented it by now. Well, You think I had Lana dispose of the body? If so, then show your proof and get it over with. I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Damon Gant is the current chief of police. This court will not tolerate any accusations against him without concrete proof. Well, Mr. Wright? Your Honor, do you have any concrete proof? Proof that Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman and made Miss Skye dispose of his body? Do I have any concrete proof? Let's take a look. Proof? Not the phone call. Shoe? No. Knife? No. Oh no, this SL9 stuff doesn't even matter. We have 3 whole pages worth of evidence. I think that's crazy. I don't think so. I think this is a situation where the game wants you to, like, you know, get all make things topsy-turvy and trip things up on you, and you have to say no before you can say yes. I don't think I have any evidence. Okay, well, I'm gonna save one more time just for safety's sake. And then I'm gonna say I don't have any proof yet. Let me take another sip of water. Okay. I have nothing. It's no use showing evidence I'm not even sure of myself. No, Your Honor. At present, I have no conclusive evidence. See, Audrey? In that case, this court is forced to penalize you for your allegations against the chief. What? Here's a tip. Never gamble what you can't afford to lose, righto? It seems that Lady Luck was on my side again today. Okay, Audrey. I'll leave the rest to you.
Alright. Fuck that?
No! I warned you earlier, Mr. Wright. This is an affront to a senior officer in our nation's law enforcement agency. What? Whoa, who's... If they were gonna do a little cop-out like that, they could have put more on the chopping block. Make me lose half my stuff. Lady Luck, Maybe we should have a word with her. Mr. Edgeworth, what do you mean? There's one lady who knows the real truth behind this trial. We haven't yet had the honor of hearing her testimony. A lady who knows the truth. Another witness. In the absence of conclusive evidence, the only other method of proof is testimony. But Chief Gant has invoked his right to refuse to testify, like a little bitch. There's still someone else. One more witness who can answer all the questions raised in this trial. Oh, who can answer all the questions raised in this trial? It continued. Someone right in this very room. Mr. Edgeworth, who is this person? Why are you asking me, Your Honor? Have you forgotten? The defense is the one calling witnesses today. Mr. Wright, does such a witness exist? Yeah, if she's willing to talk. She may not be willing to tell the truth. But we can't just stop now. Yes, Your Honor. The defense calls forth.
Don't let me down, Lana. Please.
The defendant, Miss Lana Sky? She was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 p.m. on the 21st of February. I'm dying. Her task? To dispose of the victim's body. In accordance with a certain someone's orders. Mr. Edgeworth? The prosecution has no objections, Your Honor. Very well, the court will now take its final recess for the day. In 15 minutes, we will reconvene to hear the defendant's testimony. I'm gonna take a 15-minute long nap. Oh, never mind. Maybe I won't. Hold on. Huh? Oh, hi, Chief Gant. Chief Gant, I thought you were going to eat. Listen good, Lana. He's talking to Lana. I don't think you need me to tell you this, but if you accept Mr. Wright's claims, there will be terrible consequences. Oh, God. That's right. Your sister will be found guilty for Neil Marshall's murder. Well, you just straight up fucking... Dude, get the court reporter. You make sure you write that down, underline that, highlight that, put it in fucking bold font. That's a blatant threat. Yeah, this isn't good. Of course you'd never support such outrageous claims anyway. Right? Just something to think... Oh, fuck, I messed that up. Just something to think about. Alright then. I've got a lunch date to meet. Okay. If there aren't any further objections, this court is now in recess. Fucking out of here. Oh my god, the drama. The tension. Looks like we managed to stay in the game. Yeah. Thanks to your help, Edgeworth. Oh hey! Hey, Gumshoe. That chief. He's something else, eh, pals? Gumshoe. I'm not a detective anymore. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. I guess I should have already... Yeah, okay, that makes me feel really bad. Don't worry. I've already decided where to work now. At your office. My office? Sure. I'll take the place of that top-knotted girl you used to work with. Could he mean... Aw, Maya. Still. Looks like we're all out of... Oh, fuck. Looks like we're all out of moves now. Chief Gant's done it again. How is it he always gets the upper hand? It's not fair he has the right to refuse to testify. Settle down, right? Remember what the judge said? But Chief, that is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered. Like what? Risks. What did he mean by that? It's simple. If the chief refuses to testify, the opposite also holds true. You mean he forfeits his right to say anything, too? Hey, Emma, hi. Emma, are you okay? Yeah. When I came to, I was in the medical office. I've been listening to the trial from the gallery. So she heard everything that's been going on. Emma, I'm sorry for what I said before. No, don't be. It was the truth. You know, it's funny. I almost feel somehow relieved. Relieved? Yeah. Now I finally know what really happened. To think that all this time, my sister was being blackmailed by that terrible man. And she did it all just to protect me. Ever since her appointment as chief prosecutor, everyone who knew her said she changed. Perhaps it was easier that way for her. Yeah. What do you mean? What do you think I mean? To follow Chief Gant's orders. She must have shut herself up deep inside. To force herself to do anything and everything the chief told her to do. That must be why she... fucking up. That must be why she became so cold. It was all my fault. It's all because I murdered Mr. Marshall. Hey, don't go blaming yourself now. If you want to blame anyone, blame society, pal. Chief Gant may be able to fool everyone else with his forgery, but he can't fool my memory. I remember now. I knocked Mr. Marshall into that armor. I see. Well, we better get back. Enough of this trauma. It's time for the final act. Emma, why don't you wait here? No, I'm going with you. I want to be there. When Lana tells the truth. Let's go, right? It's time to end this. Okay, this is a great opportunity for me to take a break. And it's gonna be a long one at that. Probably longer than I've ever taken before. Yes, I would love to save. I think the reason why I'm so tired today is because I forgot to... I usually have coffee every morning. And I think I forgot to make a pot this morning. Maybe I'll go and do that. Maybe I'll go and do that right now. And sip on it throughout the rest of the trial. Without further ado, we're gonna get to this. Oh god, Trial Ladder 2. Final day, Ladder 2. Very intense. Okay, I'm gonna take a longer than usual break. And we are getting to the bottom of this. Hell yeah. Okay. I've returned. I'm a little refreshed. I got up, walked around, made some tea. That smells way better than it tastes. But I think it helped to soothe my throat. I'm gonna keep taking little breaks in between, like I have been. Just when I notice the quality of my voice acting and narration like starting to dip. But hopefully that doesn't get too in the way, because this is a very intense moment, and I want to give it all the respect it deserves. So, how about we just go right ahead? Alright, we took a 10-minute recess, 15 in-game, 10 in real life, but we just gotta jump right back in. I mean, I guess I'll save first, yeah. Alright. Hope my laptop can withstand being used for stream for more than an hour and a half. Now then, will the defendant, Miss Lana Skye, please take the stand? Oh, she's agreeing. Okay. Miss Lana Skye, you are the chief prosecutor. I'm sure you're aware of what is required of you. But Mr. Edgeworth, you already know everything. You know all that I've done these past 2 years. No, I don't. Please provide the court with your testimony, Miss Skye. And remember, you are under oath. We want to hear the truth. Of course, the truth. Lana, no matter what happens, I'll always be your sister. Aww. Now then, your testimony, if you will. First, tell us about your relationship with Chief Gant. Everything hinges on your testimony. You're the only chance we have to get Gant. Come on, please. Switch sides. Come over to our side. Gant and the fabrication. Sounds like a book title. I worked alongside Gant for years. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. Oh, fuck you. No. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma.
Lies!
Are you sure about this testimony? Even you're suspicious. Your Honor, I'm confessing to a capital offense. Of course I'm sure. But, Lana... If this is true, then that means Chief Gant has nothing to do with this. That's what I've been telling you from the beginning. Please, Mr. Wright, you've got to help her. She's sacrificing herself because of me. But what if she's telling the truth? No! She's not. And do I have to read your mind again, Mr. Wright? I know my own sister. Whenever she speaks stiffly like that, she's hiding something inside. That's how she's been for the past 2 years, so... Deep down, she's really screaming in agony. Ugh. Yeah. This is no time to start second-guessing myself. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Alright. Alright. Ugh. She just says it straight up. That is a lie. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. It had nothing to do with Emma. What about the whatever was written on the jar? I think I want to present the jar. Nope, that will not work. Then maybe I can just press it. Maybe I should just press stuff. Just press stuff. So, you rearranged the crime scene. Are you sure you didn't do this to keep Emma from looking like the murderer? How many times do I have to tell you, Mr. Wright? Emma didn't do it. period. Are you so desperate to hide the fact? You're willing to risk the death sentence? She's lying. She did it so I wouldn't be blamed for what happened. In any case, as a prosecutor, what I've done is unpardonable. There's nothing I can do to make up for my actions. Mr. Wright, my sister's lying. It's like she's determined to protect you to the end. She insists she fabricated the evidence by herself. There's no way she could have done it alone. I've got to get Lana to talk more. Oh, hi! If she's lying, then she's bound to slip up and make a contradiction. Okay, so that means I should just start pressing stuff. We're in the latter half of the final trial day, so we're reaching the end. I already pressed that. I'm pressing that. That seems suspicious. Ooh. Did you do so to help your sister? Joe Dark was a serial killer. My sister almost became his last victim that day. I didn't want that incident to ruin her life. But what she did was justifiable self-defense. She wouldn't have been charged with anything? Really? Then how come fucking D. Vasquez was charged for her self-defense? That's not the point. She was traumatized that day. All because of that creep. That's why I couldn't forgive him. Lana. So that's why you fabricated the evidence 2 years ago? I rearranged the crime scene. Pressing that. You say you did this all by yourself? Yes. Would you mind telling us what you found when you arrived at the crime scene? It seems like I was the first person to discover the scene. The broken prosecutor award knife was stuck in the victim's body, even though this CG clearly shows the switchblade. What? But Prosecutor Marshall died from an unfortunate accident. That's only a situation you dreamed was possible. The reality is, it wasn't my sister who took the prosecutor's life. Fantasize all you want, Mr. Wright, but I'll never change this statement. You mean Prosecutor Marshall wound up being killed by Dark? Something like that. That's suspicious. Did you kill him? If that's so, what happened to the other murder weapon? Dark was carrying a switchblade knife. Oh, that was lying on the floor a little distance away. It was probably knocked away in the struggle. How did it get broken? Why is there blood on it? That's not how it went down. She's trying to cover up her lies with more lies. All just to protect me. So when you found the scene like this, what did you do? After all, this is what everything boils down to. Yes. I broke off the tip of Dark's knife, planted it inside the wound, then moved the body. Okay, obviously, since that's a new one, I'm pressing it. You planted the tip of the knife in the victim's wound? And then you moved the body? But why? Why would you do that? You, of all people, should know, Witchworth. You've always had a good head on your shoulders. Now's not the time for compliments, Miss Sky. My head isn't that bad, but maybe I ought to ask for the sake of the others. I wonder why she moved the body. I mean, I'm hoping I can ask both. But I want to know why she moved the body. When you showed up on the scene, where exactly was the victim's body? It was where you deduced it was, by Chief Gant's desk. But the body was found by your desk. Why did you move it there? The reason for that is simple. Let's have the witness explain this in more detail. The reason Miss Sky moved the body, I was about to. The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threaten my plan. Pieces of the jar? You mean... Yes. That wretched jar you showed us earlier. In order to show that the Dark committed the crime... I have to redo that. In order to show that Dark committed the crime, I felt it would be more expedient to move the body. So, when you first found the body, the jar was all ready. Of course, it had been shattered to pieces. If you looked at the crime scene, it would be clear right away what happened. Really? Neil Marshall was dead, and Dark was lying unconscious. In other words, the jar must have been broken during their struggle. I see. Do you have anything to say about that, Emma? What's the matter, Emma? Apparently, the jar shattered at the time the crime was committed. But I have a feeling there's more to it than that. There must be a contradiction here somewhere. Anyway, I committed this fabrication completely alone. Okay. Obviously, my first guess is to just present the jar to this. Miss Sky, I understand how you feel. What? No, you don't. You don't have siblings. You committed that crime 2 years ago to protect your sister. You mean the forgery at the scene where Neil Marshall was murdered? If that truth were to be exposed now, the past 2 years of your life will have been in vain. Even so, I'm compelled to bring to everyone's attention a significant contradiction within your testimony. A contradiction in my testimony? You testified, and I quote, "The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan." That's right. Do you have a problem with that? Yes. It's a simple oversight, really. You see, a message was written on this jar with the victim's blood. Yes. The prosecutor must have written it in his final moments. Exactly so. And this is where the contradiction lies. In order for the victim to be able to write his message on the jar, it must not yet have broken. It must not yet have been broken before he died. You see? He couldn't have written Emma's name on a shattered jar. You get it? Your Honor, it would appear more information is needed in regard to this jar and its bloody message. We may be missing something critical here. Something critical. Chief Prosecutor, it seems you're as in the dark about this as we are. About the truth towards which we're headed. What? Just tell us exactly what you saw. We'll piece together the information to arrive at the truth. Very well, the witness may now continue her testimony. Oh, fuck. The jar and the message in blood. Let me take a small sip of tea before I do this. Wow, I feel like I'm always lied to when I drink tea. Does not taste the way that I expect it to at all. Okay, anyway. I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar, but it was dark in the room, and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered. Okay, but you missed a spot. You mean you were the one who wiped away the message in blood? I wasn't chief prosecutor at the time. She didn't think Dark was the real murderer. That's why she tried to erase the real evidence. Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Okay. Okay. It was dark in the room. I wiped away the blood. I'm sure I got them all pressing that. But how could you see with the power out? It should have been pitch black in that office. A detective is always prepared, Mr. Wright. Even now, I always carry a pocket light and a camera with me. Even I carry a bottle of emergency luminol wherever I go. I never miss anything. I got every last piece. But that's suspicious. For an obvious reason. Can't believe they just have me... I'm dying. I can't believe they just have me present it twice. Miss Skye, I believe this jar conceals a truth even you were unaware of. What? We found the final piece of this jar in Chief Gant's safe. In the Chief's safe? But how? I knew it. She really didn't know. There's something even more disturbing about that final piece. There was still blood on it. But the witness just testified that she gathered every last piece and wiped the blood off of them. Yes, which leaves us with only one explanation. On the night Prosecutor Marshall was murdered, I'm dying. You were not the first to show up on... Okay, I have to re-say that. You were not the first one to show up on the scene. Chief Gant got there before you. Yes, otherwise how would it have ended up in his safe? But couldn't the defendant have simply missed a piece? No, she was really sure of herself. I'm afraid that's unlikely. The pieces are too big for anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective. That may well be, but everyone makes mistakes. Even I once wasted an entire day looking for my dentures. They were in my mouth all along. Can you believe that? It's like when you're missing your phone when it's in your hand. Have you forgotten, Your Honor? When this witness arrived at the scene, the jar was already broken. Oh, that. There's no way a name could have been written on a shattered jar. Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness. I hope you're not implying this person was Chief Gant. We are. At the time, he was looking for Dark downstairs. Besides, even if he was there first, why would he break the jar? Shut up. The question is, if he did arrive there first, why did he hide that fact for 2 years? Well, Your Honor, can you answer us that? Are we breaking him down? God, that's so funny. Sorry to shatter your worldview. Wait, I'm not the one on trial here. Damon Gant arrived at the crime scene prior to the witness. He proceeded to break the jar and purposefully hid one of the broken pieces. Question. What is this action called? Fucking forging evidence? I don't know. Concealing? Fabrication of evidence. But why would Chief Gant do that? In light of what happened afterwards, isn't it clear? What happened afterwards? Discovering the scene, Lana Skye believed her sister, Emma, killed the victim. Determined to help her sister, she sought Gant's aid. Lending her his aid, Gant helped her create evidence that incriminated Dark, sparing Emma. And therein lies the reason. The reason why Miss Skye became the Chief's puppet. Oh, ow! Ouch! No! I did it on my own. Please, stop trying to protect the Chief. I can't watch you suffer anymore for my sake. No, you didn't. It wasn't you, Emma. You didn't kill anyone. Don't believe anything Mr. Wright says. Defense attorneys make up the most foul lies to defend their clients. Foul lies? Imagine that coming from my own client. Also, I thought you and Mia were like dating or something. That's so mean. I guess you do seem like the type who likes to twist the truth. Huh? Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I will twist the truth. What if we were still smack dab in the middle of Gant's trap? Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Lana may be right after all. What do you mean, Wright? So you do tell foul lies then, Mr. Wright? No. Well, Miss Sky, please testify once more. But if evidence was fabricated behind your back, then Emma's accidental killing of Prosecutor Marshall might also be a lie. But I do remember knocking over Mr. Marshall. Yeah, but you do not remember, like, him, you know, screaming out in pain after being stabbed in the back by a giant armor sword? If you don't remember that, that's a little suspicious. Miss Sky, if you will. I can't. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. Yeah, there is! This cross-examination may not change a thing. However, there is a possibility that it will, if you tell the truth. Very well. I'll testify about what I really saw. Fucking finally! You're going to jail for so many crimes, but one of those will not be murder. I got you. Alright. The witness may testify once more for the final time. Please. I will not perjure anymore. Actual crime scene. When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body, impaled on that suit of armor sword. Oh god, okay. Emma and Dark were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. When I saw what had happened, I thought she did it. That's why I erased all the evidence that linked her to the murder. I had Chief Gant help me remove the body from the sword and carry it. But if it all really was a fabrication, Emma might be innocent. Good point. Hold on. I think there's a siren coming near my house. That was a loud one. Okay. Horns and all. Alright. Didn't want that to be a distraction. Unbelievable. The body was impaled on the armor sword? You were the only one who saw that. If only you had proof. Actually, I do have proof. What? I gave it to Mr. Wright just this morning. What? To me? It's a picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. I thought it might be needed. But I don't remember receiving a picture like that. Lana must have known. See, Mr. Wright? She really does have faith in you. Okay, but I don't have faith in myself right now. I don't know what she's talking about. Very well, Mr. Wright. Please present this picture. Oh. I don't remember receiving any pictures from Lana. Lana said she gave it to you this morning, right? I seem to remember getting something from her then. Let's check that evidence again. There must be a picture inside there somewhere. Sure. We'll go right ahead. Oh. Aw, that's so cute, Pio. That's not so cute. It's actually pretty gruesome. Hey, there's a picture here. Ouch. That's so sad. Oh. Oh my. This is the actual crime scene. No other detective saw the crime scene like this. Because I contacted Criminal Affairs only after I had rearranged everything. Then why did you take a picture of it? Okay. Mr. Wright, that piece cut out from his vest. Could that be the cloth we found inside Chief Gant's safe? So she really did push him. Oh, what's this? As if we don't know. And this is a handprint. Yeah. That cloth. It had fingerprints on it. Whosever fingerprints those are must be the real murderer. What? Are those fingerprints? I know you can read my mind, so I'm not gonna think it. But, there's someone's. They're yours, Emma. Huh? They're mine? Why are your lips turning all purple, Mr. Wright? Anyway, let's get on with the cross-examination. If you two would stop reading each other's minds for 5 seconds. So long as you tell the truth, we should be able to flush out the real murderer. Oh, very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Gladly. Ooh, okay. Oh, okay. I was waiting for, I was like, why is it not letting me skip? Now I know why. Gant hacked into the system. Come now, Audrey. This is, oh god, my fucking headphone. Sorry. Anyway, this is the poorest excuse for a trial I've ever seen. Chief Gant? What, now you want to make me out as the bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put in a word or two in my defense. No. I'm afraid it's too late for that. What? You already declined to testify. That means you forfeited your right to make statements of any sort. Get fucked. This must be that risk we were talking about earlier. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your own neck. Oh shit! He's like electrocuting himself. Holy fuck. Oh, so what? You think I'm worried? Nice fucking try, dude. You're really good at hiding your feelings. Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't need to make any statements. What do you mean? The evidence will do all the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence. Yes, that's true. Oh, wait, you mean you still have some conclusive evidence? No, I don't. But someone does. Someone? So, what's your excuse, Ryder? Why have you been keeping quiet about it? You do have something to show us, right? Something that proves who knocked over Neil Marshall, causing his death. Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt. Is this true, Mr. Wright? Kinda. If I show that piece of evidence now, Emma's sure to be made out as the murderer. Mr. Wright, if you have any more evidence, present it now. And if you try to conceal anything, you will be the one appearing before the Board of Inquiries. That would be more threatening if I knew what that even was. That's the first time you've mentioned it. What do I do now? I better think this through carefully. I can't afford to make the wrong decision. Should I present that piece of evidence? The one that shows who really killed Prosecutor Marshall? Nah. It's fine. We can be sneaky. Yeah, let's do it. Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time. I hope you pay attention to my words carefully. What? You lie. Chief Gant? You opened my safe. I know you took what was inside. Oh, so you know? You know the evidence that you fabricated? The conclusive evidence. No, I actually have no fucking clue. Unless you want to go ahead and out yourself or something. I don't know what you're talking about. Mr. Wright, why don't you show them? We found it together. Oh, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you? You know whose fingerprints are on it. That's why you won't present it. What are you talking about, Chief Gant? Can't you figure it out? Take a good look at this picture. See the victim's vest? Notice anything odd about the chest area? It looks like part of it's been cut out for some reason. You mean you had this in your safe? What? That means you, the chief of police, have been concealing evidence. This is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of the police department. Yeah. Good job. Impressive. To be honest, I didn't think you had the gall, Rido. Huh? Well, I can't just let you pin me up as the murderer. I'll tell you what really happened. What? You mean you admit to it? Huh? Huh? What is your truth, quote unquote? I was the first person to arrive at the crime scene that day. It then occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lana. You're actually saying this shit? So you really were manipulating her? I knew Lana. If I made it look like the blame lay with her sister, that when she saw the scene, she would ask me for my aid. So you assisted Miss Sky. I told her to arrange all the evidence. I had her plant the knife tip in the victim's body and move the body across the room. And I ended up using that evidence to get Joe Dark convicted. When I tampered with the crime scene, I hid 2 pieces of evidence. This was before Alana arrived at the scene, mind you. 2 pieces of evidence? You mean those items in your safe? But why? For insurance, of course. Insurance? I was sure my plan would work, but it's always best to be prepared for the worst. I wasn't about to let anyone blame me for a murder that girl committed. You mean you were calculating that far ahead while forging the evidence? What do you take me for, fool? I didn't make police chief by dumb luck. See this jar fragment? Yeah. I hid the most legible part of Emma's name. No, you didn't! You should have taken the fucking A. I didn't expect Lana to go and wipe the blood off all the pieces. Oh, but if you fabricated all the evidence, what's to say you didn't fabricate the message on this jar, too? Ho 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 ho. Some people just don't know when to quit, do they? That's why I kept one more item for insurance. You mean that piece of cloth? How do you know about that? Come on, Rido. Cough it up already. I know you have it.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright? So you admit to it then, Chief Gant? That you were hiding the cloth you cut off the victim's vest in your safe? Yes, I admit it. I didn't want to have to do that, being chief and all, but it's a lot better than being portrayed as a murderer. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say for yourself? Just a moment ago, you said you didn't have any evidence you could present. Foolish move, Rido. You should have shown it then before it was too late. It's been a long battle. But the moment of truth has finally arrived. As long as I don't mess up here, victory is mine.
I guess I can. I guess so.
Let me drink some tea while I contemplate. Alright. Alright. I guess we'll do it. Your Honor, I do have evidence to present now. Alright then, let's see this conclusive evidence. The evidence that shows who actually murdered Prosecutor Marshall.
Okay.
Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest. Oh, yes. At last you finally brought it out into the open. There's a handprint on this piece of cloth. Your Honor, the prosecution requests that be immediately sent to the lab for analysis. This handprint on the leather. There must have been a strong impact for it to be left so clearly. You mean it couldn't not— oh fuck. It could not have been forged. This must be authentic, conclusive evidence. You're as slow on the uptake as ever, Worthy. What? Think about it. Rido had all this time to present this evidence, yet he was reluctant to do so. Why would that be? You mean you already know? You know whose fingerprints are on that? Mr. Wright, do you really know? Whoever the fingerprints belong to must be the real murderer. Whose fingerprints are they? Very well. I'll tell you.
But you're not gonna like it.
It should be okay now. Everything's proceeding as predicted. The person to whom these fingerprints belong is— by the way, oh, what did I do? By the way, this is grammatically incorrect. The person to whom these fingerprints belong to is— you don't need two twos. It's either the person who these fingerprints belong to is, or the person to whom these fingerprints belong is. We don't need that repetition. I'm sorry, I'm being nitpicky. I've been in a grammatical mood lately. It's Emma. I'm so sorry, Emma. Don't faint again. We don't need you fainting twice. Emma? Emma Sky? What? They're mine? I'm sorry, Emma. But why? Why didn't you tell me?
Oh, 'cause it kind of makes you out to be a murderer
Just a little bit. You're really something, Rido. You knew this girl did it all along, and you still tried to pin the murder on me. So it's true. Tragic, but true. This girl really did shove Prosecutor Marshall to his death. How could you? You monster! Miss Sky, you knew whose fingerprints those were all along, yet you acted like she really didn't. Hold on. Miss Sky, it's not over yet. What? I said this trial isn't over yet. But I'm afraid it is over, boy. Not only this trial, but your career, too. You purposely concealed this conclusive evidence. That, my friend, is a serious offense. I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defendant is convicted. I'll have your badge, boy. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue. Aren't you going to tell us how it feels? No, it's just that I don't respond to morons. How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl into a murderer? Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up. Oh, and what's that? Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall? A what? Chief Gant, you are absolutely right. This piece of cloth proves who the real murderer is. Who killed Neil Marshall, you ask? It was Emma Skye, wasn't it? I'm afraid that's not possible. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction. What? A contradiction? What is this fool babbling about? I'm talking about a contradiction. One that proves who the real killer is.
And it sure as fuck isn't Emma Skye.
Mr. Wright, this piece of cloth, what could it possibly contradict? Chief Gant, your tyrannical reign ends here. Shut the fuck up. Behold. It's so cheesy. Behold, the piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth.
Yes, no, yes, no.
And what exactly is this supposed to be? Sorry, was my cursor on there the whole time? This is a picture Miss Skye took. Take a good look at it. It's pretty gruesome, I'm sorry. See where the piece of his vest was cut out? Yes. His shirt is showing underneath. It's hard to make out with all the blood on his vest, though. Exactly my point. His chest is soaked with blood. That's only natural. His lungs, no doubt, were punctured. Blood poured out of his mouth. Oh, but that piece of cloth. Mm-hmm. Wait. There's no blood on it. Ah! Yeah, exactly. Since Emma Skye's fingerprints are on this cloth, there's no doubt that she shoved the prosecutor aside. However, Mr. Marshall was not impaled on the sword at that time. No, this is nonsense. Now then, Chief Gant, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside. He most likely hit his head on the ground and was knocked out. If so, then tell me, who could it have been? Who could have arrived at the scene before Lana Skye, picked up the unconscious prosecutor, and impaled him on the armor's sword? Holy fuck. Yeah. Then, to make it look like Emma was responsible for the prosecutor's death, said person proceeded to write her name on the jar with the victim's blood. A jar that they then broke on purpose to leave behind a clue and make Lana believe her sister did it. Give me that sweet breakdown. Remember what you admitted only moments ago? That you personally cut out this bloodless piece of the victim's vest. Ironic, isn't it? Through the very act of creating insurance, you proved that you were the actual murderer. Oh fuck! No! Yes. It's finally all over. Until it's not. Objection. Oh, of course. Oh, he's like desperate. Oh, that was close, Rido. You almost had me. Sorry, but you'll have to do better than that. I refute your allegations. What do you mean you refute his allegations? You see, that piece of cloth is illegal evidence.
How so?
What nonsense is this? Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a suspect. Remember, Aji? Earlier, Old Rydell here concealed that piece of cloth.
We don't need a flashback for this. What's your excuse, Rydell? You do have conclusive evidence? And I'm like, no, I don't. At this time.
Check it out. It's right there. Well, that's true. The defense did refuse to present evidence. At that moment, that piece of cloth ceased to be legal evidence. But that's not fair. Did you actually think you could best me in court? It looks like the last laugh's on you, son.
Actually, Uno reverse card?
I'm afraid Mr. Gant's claim is legally correct. Well, Mr. Edgeworth? True. Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a person. Assuming, of course, that the evidence is indeed legal. Illegal, fuck. Well, Mr. Wright? It seems, at last, the time for me to reveal my plan has finally arrived. Mr. Wright, do you admit to it? Actually, I'm gonna take another quick break. Just a tiny quick break. Yeah, we're not enacting your plan just yet, Mr. Wright. I have to get up and stretch and drink some more tea. We're getting to the thick of it, though. I'm actually gonna save right here. Okay. I will be right back. Like 5 minutes? I don't even fucking know. Short. Okay. Into the thick of it. Mr. Wright, do you admit to it? That you purposefully and illegally concealed this piece of cloth? I'm gonna say that I did not. For reasons. I admit I refused to present it at one point. Aha! So the evidence is illegal. I never said that. No, it isn't, Mr. Gant. Huh? It's not that I didn't present evidence then. It's that I couldn't. What do you mean you couldn't? There are certain procedures involved when presenting evidence. No, Aji, don't listen to his lies. What? This is basic evidence law. He's nothing but a coward. You really can't believe. I love you, Edgeworth. There is only one issue left to be resolved in this trial. Is this evidence legal or not? Very well, let us settle this once and for all. Earlier, you refused to present evidence. If you can prove your conduct was not in violation of the law, do so now. Fucking, this has gotta be it. And if it's not it, it's only worth 2. This is my proof, Your Honor. Evidence law. What's this? I've done my homework too, Chief. I've been to school and shit. Indeed, Emma Sky's fingerprints were on this piece of cloth. However, at that point in time, this was merely a piece of cloth, nothing more. What? You see, it's written right here in this book. The second rule of evidence law. Rule number 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. I found this piece of evidence myself, inside your safe. It goes without saying I did not have approval from the police department. Rule number 2, unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And here is the crux of the matter. You see, at the time, it was impossible for me to prove the relevance between the cloth and the SL9 incident. What? What kind of nonsense is this? You want relevancy? Just take one look at this picture. Sorry, but can you recall when was that picture presented? That was shown only a few moments ago. No. He's right. At the beginning of today's trial, that piece of cloth was still meaningless. The person who gave it value as evidence was you, Damon Gant. You just keep putting your foot in your mouth, digging your own grave. You yourself confessed to a certain truth. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest, and he's like, oh yeah. No! Yeah. It was then that you approved this cloth as conclusive evidence. Yes, you, the chief of police, personally approved this cloth. The only person who could have cut this from the victim's vest is the one who stood before Prosecutor Marshall in his final moments. In other words, the real murderer. And there's only one person who that could be. Damon Gant. The killer was you. He's gonna do it! He's gonna do it! Oh, this amazes me. I can't do this myself, but the breakdown is immaculate. Good God. He's ins-fucking-sane. I knew I should have gotten rid of him. What? That good-for-nothing scum. For 2 years he's been snooping around the department trying to get something on me. Crimes are being committed every day, yet he insisted on hounding me. Well, your crime wasn't exactly petty. He wanted to reinvestigate the case. He recruited Angel Star, then convinced Bruce Goodman. Detective Goodman? Yes, who else, you fucking numbskull. Yeah, that's right. If the evidence is transferred, I'll lose my only chance to find out the truth. Please, you've gotta help me. And Goodman's like, alright, I am a nice guy who will definitely not get killed. Goodman turned him down, as he ought to. Oh. Still, Jake Marshall didn't know when to quit. He stole Goodman's ID card and tried to take the evidence. Goodman came to me that day. Oh, we're suddenly talking about the Goodman case? He wanted to file a lost item report. I went with him to the evidence room. Then, all of a sudden, he decided to speak out. I need to think of a Goodman voice? Fuck. What are you talking about, Goodman? Can you please reopen the investigation, Chief? We can't transfer the evidence out. There are too many questions left unanswered. He opened his evidence locker, and as he was taking the evidence out, he said, "It's not too late. I'm going to hand this all over to Marshall." Oh, and that set off your fight-or-flight reflexes, or what? Well, to be honest, I was a bit taken aback by his words. I had a bad feeling when I had a bad feeling when he came to see me, but I never thought he'd bring up SL9. That's when I saw it. That accursed knife. Oh, what? I couldn't just pull it out. Doing so would have only led to more blood, making it near impossible to hide your crime. Even so, the blood was just pouring out. I didn't know who might stumble in, so I hurried to wipe it up. I was worrying so much about the floor, I didn't realize my fatal mistake. The bloody handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker. I used to be known as the crime computer, but everyone has to start somewhere, I guess. I was too nervous. Baby's first murder, you know. I had no business doing any of it. And then you put the body in my car. You put the body in my fucking car. I'm sorry, I couldn't think of any other way to move the body. I broke your trunk, but what's the big deal? You make a lot more than us detectives ever will. Still, it's my fucking car! Leaving the prosecution's car aside, how? How could you get Miss Skye involved in all of this? Well, she had as much to lose as I did if the truth came out. So you took the evidence from Detective Goodman's locker? I felt bad for having to do it. I also didn't have the time to pick and choose what to take. So, you left the jar fragments in the glove? Yeah. It looks like I was better off being an investigator of crimes than a committer. Still, you got pretty far. They all did their best to get in my way. I've gotta hand it to them. They do their jobs well, much to my dismay. Fake evidence doesn't hold up very well upon close examination. You must have known that. Tell me, Worthy, why do you stand in court? Me? You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we're the same. No, don't say that to him. He's not destined to become a murderer. One day you'll understand. When you murder someone too. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down once you try to go it alone. I doubt that. I'm actually a good person now. I've gone through a character arc and everything. Well, looks like it's time to say goodbye. Oh, Udgy. What? Looks like we'll have to cancel that lunch date. Can we reschedule for, 20 years later? Sorry, old friend. Oh, no. I'm sorry too, Damon Gant. I knew you as you used to be long ago. You were once a fine investigator, and an example to others on the force. I'm sorry to learn that you are no longer that person. Those days are gone now, Udgy. Thanks for all the memories, though. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Now you have Righto here, and Worthy. With these two around, you can't go wrong. In fact, I can hear them already. The melodious sounds of a new beginning. Hey, you're awfully chipper. But alright. Lana, holy fuck. There are two things I want you to understand. Yes. First, your sister never hurt anyone. Second, Damon Gant betrayed you from the beginning. You see, Miss Skye, you no longer have any reason to keep silent. You're right. When this trial is over, I'll tell everything. Awfully chipper for someone so evil. That's his thing, though. That's a good gimmick. He's like perpetually happy about something. So when you realize just how disgusting he is, it really hits you. All that I've done these past 2 years, From the time I had Gant help me forge evidence, up until today. I'll write a memoir. I'll be a New York Times bestseller. So, it seems all the questions raised in this trial have been answered. I'm sorry, Miss Sky. I couldn't get you out of all your trouble. My. What high standards you have. For a rookie. I can see why Mia thought so highly of you. Who knows? A few years from now, you might just make it to the top. Oh, that's so sweet! I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. Miss Sky. And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. We love seeing her smile. It's amazing. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. Believe me, I know how much of an ordeal it's been for you. It was nothing. Oh, shut up, liar. I was worried the pressure might break you. And yet, you rose above it all and guided Mr. Wright to victory. You've done well, Mr. Edgeworth. Stop it. I only did my job. Boy can't take a compliment for shit. You did good, Edgy. In light of this case, it seems a good self-examining is in order for all of us. Miss Sky. Yes, Your Honor. You are innocent of murder. However, although the chief blackmailed you, the fact is you still acted as his accomplice. A trial will be scheduled for these crimes at a later date. Yes. I understand, Your Honor. I'm so for sure going to fucking jail. Is there something amusing about all this? Why are you smiling? It's been a long time, Your Honor. A long time since I felt free of these heavy chains. Yes, she deserves it! She deserves the world. Well, this trial has gone on far too long already, for fucking sure. Regarding the charge of murder, this court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky, not guilty! Yes, thank you. What has she been holding behind her back this entire fucking time? That is all. This court is adjourned. This goddamn court is adjourned. Finally. Okay, let's group hug it out in the defendant lobby. Come on, get over here, piling in. At long last, it's finally over. Thank fuck. Emma? Why the long face? I'm sorry your sister didn't get completely off the hook, but at least she wasn't convicted for a murder she didn't commit. No, that's not it. Just now, after the trial ended, I can see why Mia Faye thought so highly of you. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. And you too, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh? You suffered a lot, and you did well. Yeah, we saw this. You know, I did my best too. But Lana didn't say a single word to me. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. I fucking love you, Gumshoe. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. No, come, get over here. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You've got a lot of nerve, pal. You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Making a detective run all around while on duty? And to top it off, you call me here? I've seen happier people at funerals. Hey, lighten up, pals. I'm only kidding. Whoa. Are you here because of my sister again? Nope. Not this time. I came today because of you, pal. Me? That's right. I thought you'd like to see someone. Here she is! Lana! Should you be doing this? She's still under arrest, you know. Well, I won't tell if you won't.
Okay, secret safe with me.
Emma, I owe you an apology. It's okay, don't worry about it. That day, 2 years ago?
Yeah?
It was the first time in my life I ever panicked. It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. All I could think about was keeping you from getting wrapped up in that mess. But here we are. Lana, I asked Gant to help me cover up the truth. I thought I was doing it for your sake. But now I realize I was wrong.
Huh?
I changed after that day. Yeah, I had to. It was the only way I could make it through the past 2 years. That's really sad. I knew how much I was hurting you by distancing myself, but I couldn't bring myself to tell you what I did. I was scared. Scared that you'd look at me with those eyes of yours. I was scared of how you'd react if you knew. But, Lana, you were only doing it for me. No. Huh? I turned my back on you that day. In hiding what I believed to be the truth, I was deceiving you. Lana, I'm such a fool. It took me all this time to realize it. Emma, I'm so sorry. But you don't have to apologize. I'm happy now. You're happy? Of course. You know, Lana, I always knew that one day you'd come back. And now you have. Oh. Oh, Emma. Emma. That's so sweet. They deserve it. God, we needed this. No one can change the past. The only thing we can do is to strive to make up for our mistakes. Why must we make up for our mistakes, you ask? Because in so doing, we can find the way back to our rightful path. And it is from there that we can move on toward a brighter future. That's so sweet! At least that's what I felt, watching the two sisters make up. Now? Now what? Mr. Right. Mr. Gumshoe. Me? Thank you both for all that you've done. I'm sure we'll meet again someday. Isn't that right, Edgeworth? Edgeworth? Where is he? Where is he? Stop hiding and come over here. Peeks from around the plant. Where was he hiding? I just came to say congratulations. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Right, well, I'll be going now. Get over here right now. Drags him back. Mr. Edgeworth, I hope you don't blame yourself for what happened. We were the ones who acted corruptly, not you. It's too late for me. Oh, stop being dramatic, no! What? No matter what anyone may say, I realized today that I can't correct my mistakes. Mr. Edgeworth. Not only that, but I don't even trust myself anymore. Chief Gant was right. Oh, you despise criminals. We're the same. No, you're not. One day you'll understand. You will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them back. Okay, no. Okay, no. I do despise criminals. I plan to dedicate my entire life to fighting them. But in order to fight crime on my own, I'd need a weapon. It's scary, but I've known that to be true for quite some time now. But Edgeworth, what piece of evidence do I have to present to show him that he's not the same as Gant? Who knows? Given enough time, I might have tried to pull something like, oh fuck. Given enough time, I might have tried to pull something like Chief Gant did. That thought terrifies me. That's why I can't continue on as a prosecutor. Edgeworth, don't you understand? Damon Gant and your mentor, Manfred von Karma, don't say that name ever again, were both the best of the best when it came to fighting crime. But they both made the same mistake. You said in order to fight crime on my own, I need a weapon? That may be true. But think back to today's trial. You weren't alone. You're right! You were working together with Mr. Wright. And because of that partnership, you were able to present evidence that otherwise would have gone undiscovered. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Oh, yeah. What is this, a pop quiz? Come on, Mr. Wright, show him what Lana's talking about. Evidence, huh? Something that neither Edgeworth nor I would have been able to find on our own? What, this? Because he gave us the fingerprint powder? That's gotta be it. That might mean something to you, but I don't see how it had anything to do with our partnership. Ah, shit. No, I can go back. Huh? Mr. Wright, it seems you still have a lot to learn as well. I guess that wasn't the right piece of evidence. No, we're doing that again. We're doing that again. We're doing it again. Again. Go again. We're doing it again. Okay, not that. Then what? If not that, then what? Oh! Yeah. It's the motherfucking evidence list. It was even cut in half and brought together as one, just like us. That's the picture I drew. Our counterattack began with this. You had one half of the evidence list, and I had the other. Apart, we wouldn't have been able to completely restore Emma's picture. That didn't just happen by chance, Mr. Edgeworth. It's time for me to go. Okay, bye. I'll just let you sit with that. I'm dying. Mr. Edgeworth, if you'll excuse me, there are still some loose ends that need wrapping up. Take care, Chief Prosecutor. Aw, bye. Edgeworth! I'm dying! Hold on, I need water. I'm really pushing my limit here. What will you do now? Well, whatever you do, just remember. You can let what happened kill the prosecutor in you, or you can let it help you grow. In the end, it's up to you. I know. It seems I owe you my thanks too, right? But what I face now is my problem. Edgeworth, I'll be waiting for you. In court. I'll be waiting for you in court. That's what I meant by that. Farewell. Okay, bye. Sorry, I didn't know if you could hear the loud music blaring. If that keeps happening, I'm gonna be so fucking annoyed. This is why I don't stream that late at night. Because, just very loud music in the car radios. Anyway, you don't? Okay, cool. My mic has like a meter thing where it shows you how much volume it's taking in or picking up or whatever. It was showing that it had picked it up, but I'll pay no mind. I'd better be going too. Okay, but I'll be by to visit soon. It seems we both have a lot to learn and catching up to do. Here, this is a little something for you. Aw, that's so sweet. Scientific investigation. It's the first book I ever bought. Study it well. This is like for 3rd graders. Thanks, I will. I'm never gonna get tired of that sprite. She's so cute. And so, another case came to a close. As for the sisters, I have faith. Yeah. Faith that their lives have only just begun. That's really nice. And as for me, I think it's time I stop lagging. Started on a journey of my own. Fuck. But I think it's gonna take me a while because I'm lagging. Ugh, worst time to lag. A journey to rediscover myself. Well, don't go trekking off just yet, pal. Huh? What is it, detective? It's just a little matter to be resolved about the chief prosecutor. You see, she isn't supposed to be out of jail like this. But I thought you said it was okay. Yeah, well, it may be okay with me, but the folks at the prison are a different story. Huh? Basically, I had to bribe a guard in order to sneak her out for 30 minutes. And believe me, it wasn't cheap either. Huh? How are you getting that money? Way to go, detective. I didn't know you had a wild side. Yeah, well, you see, Mr. Right here's the one who will be footing the bill. Huh? Huh? What, you think I could afford it with my salary? You gotta be kidding me, pal. Huh? 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 Thank you, Mr. Right, you're the best! Why is it I suddenly feel like I want to scream? Hey, I got an idea. Why don't we all go pay it off together? Yeah, that's a great idea. Come on, guys. Let's go. I love how it ends with him being in literal debt. Wow. Oh, time for a rapid fire voice acting. Oh, fuck. Alright. I arranged for a friend of mine in Europe to take care of Emma. I hope she'll be pleased to study under a top coroner. As for me, this affair has pretty much ended my days at the prosecutor's office. Still, I'll manage to find my way back into the field somehow. Then I'll be able to investigate crimes together with Emma. Aww, that's so cute! I wonder what else Lana likes to do. What other interests she could pursue? Maybe she could be an artist? A musician? Who knows? I wonder about that. Oh, hey, Gumshoe. Yikes. I thought I was a goner for a moment there. In the end, though, they overlooked my unauthorized investigation of the chief's office. If we penalized you any more, it'd be worse than firing you. Yep, that's what they said. Just goes to show you can't shake me off that easily. That's really true. He's a tenacious one. But that's why we love you, Gumshoe. We love all his appearances. He's such a charming person. Very optimistic. I like him as a character. Hope to see more of him. Oh, hey. My new mission is to guard the main entrance and take care of Billy. Can you believe it? I've been demoted to a security guard. My partner's keeping an eye on the entrance for me today. Mute. I'll show them, though. Someday I'm gonna make detective. Yes, sir. Then I can be just like that Dick Gumshoe. Aw. I knew there was gonna be a microphone whir. There he goes. Well, that's the last we'll see of him, as far as I know. Unless he makes an appearance in Ace Attorney Investigations, which I kind of doubt it. This is a very, singular case. Dev Team trolling us till the very end. For real. Blue Badger, what are you doing here? I don't need any more of you in my life, Blue Badger. You've already done enough damage to these trials as it is. Oh no! Aw. Someone better tell Gumshoe. He cares a lot about that little guy. Wow, I still can't believe it. Oh hey! What is it? Can't you see I'm having me a showdown with a steak lunch partner? Miss Star managed to sneak this into me. She's seen one of the guards, it seems. Well, cowboy, looks like you did it. You even gave Bambina back her smile. Can you make sure Billy and the gang get their water? Sure thing, Marshall. You're one of my faves. Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, I'm dying. I can't believe that the original game, not counting the 5th case, was made with such a small, looks like we won't be seeing each other for a while. Yeah, I'm good. As a farewell gift, I put a new meal on the menu, the Right Way lunch. The top layer tastes as bitter as defeat, but the bottom layer is as sweet as victory. Kids seem to dig the turnabout theme. It's a hot seller around exam time. Just make sure not to eat it backwards. Aw. Okay, she's also one of my favorites. Yeah, it's just that my throat's getting scratchy. Oh yeah, the original game, not counting the 5th case, was made with such a small dev team. Like 7 people. In the span of 10 months. 4 cases? I'll never forget what that young defense lawyer said after the trial. Let's see, what was his name again? Mr. Left? Anyway, he said he's been doing, something or other for, how many years? Well, anyway, I've got another trial to get to, so I'd better be, Huh? Oh no, I forgot my gavel! Sorry, gotta go. Alright, Judge. He's doing his best. It's just that my throat's getting scratchy. This is the longest I've ever streamed ever. I'm really not used to it. And for talking for that long. But I think it's worth it. I think it paid off. Maya! Ah! Oh, ah. Nothing soothes the soul like fresh country air. Still, sometimes I do miss hearing you and your objection. Still, I can't go back until I'm a full-fledged spirit medium. Mystic Maya, afternoon training is about to begin. Coming! Well, see you around, Nick. Aw, were we visiting her? That's very sweet. Oh, I can't wait to get into the second game. I literally cannot wait. It's gonna be a wild ride. And I really like voicing Maya a lot. So I'm looking forward to that quite a bit. I really missed not voicing Maya for so long. Second game is crazy. It's one of my, if I had to rank it, it'd be kind of high up. Mr. Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth? I brought you your tea. Huh? Oh, what's going on? What is going on? Yeah, if I had to rank the games, the second one would be pretty high up on my list. Especially for that fourth case in the game. Chef kiss. I also really like the third one. Thanks for coming to see me off. I can't believe I'm going to Europe. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Thank you so much for everything. I'm a little sad, but I'll be alright. Whenever I want to see Lana, all I have to do is open this book. Aww. I just realized what that was. The note? I know! Me too! I won't spoil it for anyone who doesn't know, but still. I like how this book is made by the same brand as the evidence law. What's this? That's so sweet. Oh, she's wearing her hat. Aww. That's really, really adorable. And she's even got the same backpack as she does now. Oh my god. My heart. My heart. Wow. Is that it? Oh. Oh my god. Just a second. Whew. Wow. I actually can't believe it. This is the first full playthrough I've ever done for my streams of this game. Or just anything. This game was my first. This game was my first, is what I'm trying to say. And that to me is a crazy revelation. I'm glad that this was my first. It was really fun, and I'm glad that I started with a game that I really enjoyed. So I had a really positive experience with it, you know? I'm just surprised that it's over. I think I've mentioned this a few times before, but I started streaming back in May. So I'm like, even though it did take me, 5 months? Just about 5 months to get through this game. I'm still surprised with how quickly I did get through it. It feels like it went by very fast. It would have gone by quicker if I hadn't taken breaks and taken days off and such, but I mean, I'm not mad with the way it panned out. So yeah, I love this game a lot, and I do feel kind of bad that it had to fall victim to all of my, kind of like first-timer errors, like weird mic quality and being muted and unmuted and all these little things. So maybe in the distant future, I will play this game again to give it the love it deserves once I've gotten an even better hang on this whole streaming thing. But that's thinking really far ahead. But I don't want to abandon this series at all. It is just part of the experience. You're very right. You're very right. And I do think that it would be Ace Attorney speedrun. I think I could do it. It would be poetic if I continued playing this series throughout streaming, so that as the franchise in itself progressed and settled into itself and gave itself new features and things to do, my streams would also improve. I think that linearity would be just like metaphorical in a way. So yeah. Wow. Alright. Well, my stream schedule is obviously going to change just a little bit in terms of what I'm playing. But my plan from here on out, now that I'm done with the first game, sorry, my plan from here on out is to keep Monday, Wednesday, Saturday as much as I can. Bear in mind that I may have cancellations with those, but that's my plan. And then I might also, like, you know, supplement with Friday's streams as well. I will let everyone know about that ahead of time. Just playing it by ear. In terms of what I'm actually going to be doing on stream, I'm gonna keep trying to play Baba Is You on Saturdays. I know the last few times I've tried to play were pretty lackluster, to be honest, because I was losing my interest in the game. But I think if I just let it go and just do whatever I want, if I let myself jump around and just do whatever I think is interesting in that moment, I might be able to enjoy it better, instead of letting myself sit there getting stuck. So I'm going to try and approach that game again. And I'm going to try and make that a full playthrough as well. I want to reach the end to that. Because we've already gotten ourselves in pretty deep. And I just think, you know, at this point, why not just go all the way? Instead of our regular Ace Attorney installments, I've mentioned this before, but I'm playing Undertale on Mondays and Wednesdays. But not just a casual playthrough. I have played it casually before. But I'm going to go for a specific route to try and make things a little interesting. So, I hope that you guys can look forward to that. So, that's gonna be my schedule for the foreseeable future, is those two games. If anything happens where I feel like I need to change that, I will let people know, but that's the plan for now. So yeah, I hope that's something that we can all look forward to and enjoy in the future. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining me on this long and frankly fucking chaotic journey through Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. It's been a wild ride, and I hope you enjoyed. I certainly did. Drink water, have a snack, I hope you sleep well, stretch, go for a walk if you can, and I will see you around. Have a good one.